Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So if you're new here, my name's Patricia.
I'm Johnny.
We are a married couple. We actually just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. We did it. So to celebrate our anniversary, we decided to go on a weekend getaway to the Getaway Home.
Yeah, and for us, we live in New York, and that is located upstate in the Catskills. We were in the wilderness, but we are still in a little cabin, which was really nice. So it kind of gives us a little bit more freedom to get in touch with nature and to be together just alone, because there isn't going to be as great cell reception. There's not going to be a TV in there or anything like that. Unless you're traveling around, you're just kind of in there with your loved one and with your thoughts and talking to each other and having fun playing games.
There's actually 2 locations that are upstate in the Catskills. There's Catskill West and Catskill East. So we stayed at Catskill East. And they're about 10 minutes away from each other, so it's very local. There's a bunch of different locations all over the US. I know that there is one in Big Bear, California, as well as Atlanta, Georgia. And with the others, we will link them down below.
This is a great opportunity for anybody that wants to get off the beaten path a little bit. And that's why we decided to do this, and we decided to make a little review, because you don't have to be in New York in order to actually do this.
The getaway experience is a little bit pricier than I guess your average hotel stay. It all really depends on the time of year you go, if you're going during the week, the weekend.
Prices will also vary if it's just going to be you and a loved one, or if you're a family of 4. They do have bunk beds there. We're not sure on the prices since we were just us 2. And you're also allowed to bring a dog with you. Again, the prices will vary. It will go up a little bit as a fee for the dog. But overall, prices aren't that much more than a hotel, and you're kind of getting a nice little weekend getaway. And if you are a student, they do offer either a 10 or 20% off discount.
So when driving up to your cabin, the roads are going to be extremely bumpy. We definitely advise to drive slowly. Also, while going to your cabin, it is a one-way pattern, so if you do miss your turn to your cabin, you're gonna have to drive around the campsite all over again.
After the bumpy road, we're finally going to get to the cabin, and when you pull up to the cabin, you're going to get a nice little secluded area all to yourself with a fireplace, picnic table, and also a couple chairs.
Yeah.
On the way up to our cabin, I actually was in correspondence with the Getaway team. How they do everything is through text, and there's someone available 24/7 to text. And how they keep things pretty secure is they actually will text you a key code about half an hour before you arrive to the location. So when we were walking up to the cabin, there is a little key code, and we were able to put in our own code that they gave us, 3377, in case anyone was wondering.
The first thing that I noticed while walking into our cabin was the beautiful kitchenette area. I love the entire aesthetic and the vibe. It was a nice crossover between
Like a farmhouse,
like a farmhouse and like cozy, quaint vibe. In the kitchen area, there's pots, pans,
mugs. There's also a little stovetop. There's actually a little area that they have some card games in, and they have some books. The air conditioner's right there, which I love. That's the first thing I noticed. I thought, where's the air conditioner? I gotta make sure that there is one.
It was also very muggy too. Especially when we walked in there, we're just like,
there's some plates, some silverware.
There's a mini fridge that also has like a small little freezer on top as well.
Don't make the mistake I did. It's not a freezer.
Oh, it's not?
No, because the ice packs did not stay frozen.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. So my mistake. Never mind. So they're just a fridge.
It held everything that we needed. We went and did some shopping before we came up there. But if you don't want to do your own shopping beforehand, you can always go around the area. We found a CVS, a supermarket. There's plenty of things around the areas. There's also a little table and a chair, as well as a bench that is connected to the bed. And we didn't really use that because of how small this area is. We actually took advantage of the table and the chair and just put all of our equipment and clothes on it, as opposed to actually using it to eat meals and stuff. We just ate everything in the bed.
Right.
It's easier.
Everything was just, well, I would say everything is done in the bed. Oh. And then we come to the back of the cabin where there's the bathroom, which of course there is a toilet. The sink is actually in the kitchenette area. And also, of course, there's a shower. Provided is shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. And actually, I found out that the products are all natural, cruelty-free, and vegan.
And then I already mentioned this a little bit before because we were talking about doing everything on there, including eating and whatnot else. I don't know what she's thinking of. But we have a bed. It's a queen size bed, And right next to the bed is a gigantic glass window. It is the size of the whole cabin side over there. And it's just really nice. It's almost like a panoramic window that you can see right into the forest. We were hoping to see a bear or a deer or something. We didn't see any of that stuff, but we saw a lot of trees, and it was just beautiful to look out of.
It was so beautiful to wake up to that in the morning. It's just absolutely magical and just so stunning, just seeing the beauty and the nature through the glass every evening and every morning. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like that's definitely the major selling point. It definitely lived up to its expectation.
One of the things that the Getaway House encourages is for you to wake up with the sun. So that's why they have that big window over there. But if you want to sleep in, you hate the sun, or you still want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, they do have blackout curtains that you can pull down for the large window as well as a small window at the foot of the bed.
If you don't like the sun.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible, like you hate nature.
There are some places that you can go that aren't going to be too far away from your cabin. So if you wanted to get certain accessories, some snacks and things like that. But if you just wanted to relax for that whole weekend and you were feeling a little hungry because you didn't bring everything that you needed, they do actually have some things that do cost extra in the cabin. Certain things like jerky, soup, pasta,
candy,
firewood, of course, as well as a fire starter. And anything that you decided to buy, you just take, and they will charge you later on because they keep the inventory in there. Overall, it is a little bit pricier than if you were to get it at a store. But again, if you were just going to stay and not wanting to leave for that whole weekend or week or whatever you might be for, then it's just perfect because it's all right there in the cabin. So there's a lot that we liked about the cabin. There were a couple things that we didn't like. But with that, let's go into some pros that we really enjoyed when it came to the Getaway House. One of the first things that I could really think of is that it was secluded. You know, it was in a campground and we had neighbors, I guess, but besides the people that would be across from us, which would be across the road, we couldn't see our next door neighbor because they were a good 100 feet away or so, and there was a bunch of trees in the middle of it. So it felt like you were kind of on your own, which was really nice, but it also didn't feel dangerous because you also did have the cabin staff around if you needed them.
It's a perfect glamping experience. Definitely a nice happy medium between camping and RVing. It was just perfect all around, in my opinion. It's such a nice little tiny home.
This is like a step higher than camping. And if you feel comfortable with this, then maybe you'll feel comfortable actually camping next time.
And another pro that I definitely enjoyed was the bed. It was super comfortable. I did not want to get out of it all day. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about you. I love beds, so I treasure my beds. And I feel like we I hate saying this. I feel like we did everything on that bed, so it was just so comfortable. We ate our breakfast there, our lunch, so I don't know. It was just super comfortable.
We already said this a couple of times, but next to the bed was that big window. That's also another pro. We love the whole cabin in general, but that window is what really sells it for us.
It's a huge selling point. I feel like for anybody, you see it on their website or their social medias, and automatically you just want to book them just because of how beautiful the scenery is. That's what sold me for sure. So it was just being indulged in like the nature feel and feeling comfortable.
And another pro would be the text communication with the staff. They're available 24/7. So if you decided to need something at 3 a.m. for whatever reason, you can text them. They'll get it done. They do recommend you texting them before 9 o'clock at night, but if there's some type of emergency, there is somebody available at all times. So that's just really helpful, and that's a big plus.
Also, which is a huge selling point for me, was the water pressure. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I feel like when you are showering, that's super important. So the water pressure was fantastic. I feel that the temperature was perfect.
And the last pro that I could think of really is everything that they do provide. You don't have to worry about bringing up your own mug or your own pans or anything like that, because they provide all of that for you, as well as we were talking about the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. They do help a lot in that aspect. You still have to bring some of your own stuff, of course, like food, but overall, some other places, if they have a kitchenette, you sometimes have to bring your own stuff. So I thought that was a huge pro. While we had a lot of pros and we liked a lot of things about the getaway cabin, there were a couple of cons here and there. One of them would be kind of a pro and a con, I guess, is the internet connection. The reason I'm saying it's a pro and a con is because you do want to be secluded, you want to be off the beaten path and with your loved one. So it was really nice having very little or no internet access. But at the same time, you were allowed to make a fire, and we're city people, but we don't know how to make a fire.
Can you tell this is our first time trying to do this?
Well, I've seen TP fires before.
Oh, jeez.
And I had to actually take a walk just so I could get a internet connection on my phone so I could watch a YouTube video on how to make a fire.
But we did it.
He
did it though, and I'm very proud.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, it was all the fire starter, but it's all good.
It started to rain a little heavier than we thought, and that fire stayed for what, an hour?
Yeah, I mean, I used a lot of fire starters, but it did stay. But that's what I'm saying, it's a pro and a con because you can get away. They actually do give you a little lockbox so you can put your phone in so you can kind of be secluded. But if you need information, if you need to find a place to eat, the internet kind of helps.
Also, hate to say it, but the pillows were not the most comfortable. They were very flat. I woke up both nights with my neck hurting. Pillows weren't so comfortable. The bed was very comfortable.
So again, this is kind of a con. They usually have drinking water available through the sink, but they were having some plumbing issues and it was actually brown. Again, it technically isn't anything on their end. It just happened to be a plumbing issue. But to resolve that, they did give us big jugs of water that was distilled and was filtered and stuff that we could drink, so that's a plus. The problem with the jug of drinking water was that it was supposed to be in the cabin when we arrived, and it wasn't, so we actually communicated with the staff around 4 o'clock, and I had to correspond with them a few times, and it took them almost 4 hours to actually bring the jug of water to us. I'd say the one downside with that communication is that it does take some time for runners to come around and give you what you need.
So I don't know if all the getaway campgrounds are like this, but where we stayed, there was just very, very limited connection. So getting to our cabin was a little difficult, especially with the directions that they provided to us. We didn't feel like they were
adequate.
Yeah.
We actually drove past the campgrounds a couple of times, and the person that I was talking to was telling us that we had to drive half a mile past what the GPS originally tells us, and it didn't happen to be the case. Our GPS actually got us closer than what he was stating, but it was just a little bit confusing. Again, that's for us. We were in the Catskills. It could be totally different in California, in Georgia, wherever else you're going.
And this also might sound a bit silly, but just be cautious that there's no mirror there. I mean, they do provide a mirror, but it's about this big. So again, I know that sounds so silly and major first world problems, but honestly, in a time of need, you do need a mirror here and there. So I actually did just use the reflection of the big window to do my hair in the cabin. So yeah, just a little warning sign. So overall, we definitely had a lot more pros than we did cons. It was such a beautiful experience, and it was definitely a trip that was super well needed and just so nice to be indulged in nature and just away from, I guess, the quote-unquote real world for the time being. And I highly recommend, and I will definitely do this again in the future when we have a little bit more money.
Yeah, if we had a little bit more money. But it was something that I would definitely go back to as well. Like we said, there's a couple of them all over the country, so maybe we won't go back to the Catskill one, but maybe we'll, explore somewhere else at some point. But it was nice. It was only 3 hours away from where we live, and it was kind of cool to get away, especially with everything going on. So it was just nice to kind of get away from all of that for a little bit. Definitely would go back.
Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us.
Yeah, and I hope that we answered some questions that you guys might have about the Getaway House. If you have any other questions, we're going to provide a couple of links down below, but you can also send us a comment and we will try to get back to you. If we get enough questions, maybe we'll make another video answering those, but for now, leave them in the comments below.
And if there's any other videos you'd like to see from us, please leave them in the comments below as well. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and also if you'd like to be notified when we post a new video, make sure to press the bell icon. I guess right there. Why not?
Or there.
Or there. Or there. Or there. Or there. Or there.
I don't know.
Or there.
If anybody's thinking about going to the Getaway House, feel free to click the referral link in the description below. That's going to be our personal referral link, and you guys might be able to get some discounts from there, or at least get more information from the Getaway team.
And as always, be safe, be well, be still. Much love. You're so cute. Peace out, homies. Be safe.